What up, peoples? Welcome back to another exciting episode of DIA, or Dudes in Asia. As always, this is David Hayter.
And this is David Nguyen, aka El Nuganator.
Yes, once again, it's Tuesday. Today's October 16th, and we're back in the Heezy doing it big.
For tonight's program, we'll continue with our short interview series, and then we'll jump into today's topic, our favorite travel spots in Japan and Vietnam.
All right. So, I think you asked me first last week, right? My memory's gone.
Ooh. I think no. So
That's right.
I think the first episode, I interviewed you, and then last week you interviewed me first.
Okay.
So
okay.
I guess we rotate back to you.
For sure, man. Sounds good.
So,
all right.
Now we know you're from Long Beach. Well, we're both from Long Beach. You went to school. Why you came out to Japan? So let's cover. So, what are your hobbies and interests?
Yeah. I think I've kind of had hobbies come and go over the years. Lately, while I've been out here, I play a lot of video games. I also like cooking. I've been into making cocktails. I have like a small bar in my house. I think I've shown you some pictures, man.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. But on top of that, I also like working out and stuff. It's a little tough using a gym out here. Like sometimes, I don't know, man, like they have like strange rules. Like, I have like a couple tattoos, and I joined a gym before, and they're just like, oh, so do you have any tattoos? I'm like, no, of course I don't have any. They're like, oh, okay. But like the main reason I joined was to go swimming, right? And then I was in the pool, and like I just put like some tape on my shoulders, to cover up the tattoos. And the guy that works there came up to me. He's like, "Oh, you have tape on your shoulders, do you?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." And he's like, "Oh, do your shoulders hurt?" I'm like, "That's right." He's like, "Oh, well, if you have tape on, you can't swim in the pool." And I was like, "Damn it!"
Can you wear a rash guard?
Yeah, you could wear a rash guard. I did that for a couple of weeks, but it got like kind of old, man. You know what I mean?
But at least you could still swim without them kicking you out, right?
Yeah, but I mean, man,
I got you.
Like a second-class citizen, man.
I got you.
Everybody else is out here swimming no shirt. I'm like, I want to wear my, I want to rock my beer gut too. Damn it. No. All right, dude. Why don't we flip the script, man? Let's send it back your way, man. What kind of hobbies and interests you been getting into lately?
I think we're both very similar, and that's why I think we're still good friends to this day. Is like also cooking, some fitness. Video games. I just like video games has been on and off, but I guess it's because you're an adult. You have to pick your moments to really enjoy video games.
That's right.
I think probably just the additional layer is basketball is definitely like a hobby and interest of mine. So yeah,
for sure, man.
Yeah, that's probably the only additional layer.
Yeah, how's it going, man? You been keeping up with balling and whatnot?
I played basketball this morning, man, and it was awesome.
Nice.
And dude, it was like, so we played 4-on-4 full court, and this girl just absolutely destroyed the whole team. But she played college ball in like San Jose, and then she's also a coach out here. So it's not like just some random, but like she's a skilled player. But she absolutely like dominated my team single-handedly.
Wow.
So exactly,
got the fundamentals, huh?
No, just hands down, bro, hands down. Like this is like the first person where I met and played where it was like it was like a mirror match, bro.
Oh, really?
It's so weird. I've never encountered that in my life. It was just like you have the same game as I do, and you're trying to figure out yourself. That was like the first time I encountered it, so it was really weird. But anyways,
that is trippy, man.
It is. It's like fighting someone who fights exactly like you do. So you're like, wait, what's going on? Like you got to really think about it, So,
yeah. So, it's like I spend all my time trying to figure out how to beat other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Not trying to figure out how to beat myself.
Yeah, I played her like one-on-one like a few weeks ago. That's when I realized like, whoa, this is like interesting, But anyways, yeah. So yeah, it's been awesome, man. So basketball is at least my once a week thing, for sure. And then I'm trying to actually incorporate more fitness into like different areas as well. I mean, I had a bad month of like illnesses, but trying to get over that.
Yeah, it gets tough, man. Working now, you got a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I think, as you kind of get older and you realize like how much free time you don't have, you have to be more, what I say, a little bit more picky, a little bit more selfish with how you spend it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yep. Oy. Yeah. So what do you think, man? I'll open it up to today's conversation.
Yeah, so I think it's a good time for that.
Yeah.
Let's
see, man.
Let's start with you. I think Japan is a very interesting spot, a place that I haven't been to yet, but at least came to Vietnam, so we kind of both share little stories about Vietnam. But Japan is like, awesome place, but I have no idea. So what are some spots that you would recommend me to check out if I was to go to Japan?
Yeah, well, a lot of people, especially since I've even been out here, like they've been asking me, like, when I go to Japan, where should I go? And, it's kind of like the cliche answer, but if you don't have a lot of time, everybody usually visits like the big three, they call it Tokaido. And that's going to be, Tokaido. So it means like east, like sea road.
Let me guess. So it's like Tokyo, Hokkaido?
Yep. Not Hokkaido.
Not Hokkaido.
Hokkaido's up in the north. Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds like Hokkaido, but it's not. Yeah. So Hokkaido is like Northern Sea Road.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tokyo's right.
Yeah.
Next guess.
I forgot. It's this place you always keep telling me. Obviously, it's not Nagoya, but
no,
it starts with an S. It starts with an S, right?
It has an S in it. Oh.
That does not help then. Osaka. Okay.
That's right. Bing bing. One more.
Osaka, Tokyo, and
it starts with a K, ends with a Yodo.
Kyoto.
Bing bing.
Wait, what's in Kyoto?
What's in Kyoto? Like, there's a lot of like shrines and temples.
Okay.
So, like, Kyoto is like, I think the second capital of Japan. I don't know. Like, I heard the first one was like Nara, and then the capital moved from Nara to Kyoto.
So it's a little more like the imperial kind of stuff ish.
Yeah. So before the capital moved to what was Edo, now Tokyo, like after the Sengoku Warring States period, which ended in 1600. But yeah, like it's basically like a very historically significant town. But it's not like super huge,
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of visitors like to go there. And like, they have like giant temples. The restaurants are really nice. Yeah, if you go in the spring, they have a lot of cherry blossoms. And if you go in the fall, it's like when all the leaves change colors. But the thing now is that like everybody goes to all three of those places. And so, like, if you're traveling in the off season, when everybody in Japan is still working, then you'll have like a good time, like the places aren't too crowded. It's easy to get around.
Is the cherry blossom season like in the peak season of like Japanese people traveling?
It can be, yeah.
Okay.
It depends because every year it depends on the weather.
Okay.
And so the cherry blossoms start opening in the south. And then as it gets hotter, like they start opening farther in the north. Where I am here in Mie, Japan, close to Nagoya, it's usually going to be around like April, But if it's like very hot, it could start like towards the end of March,
Okay.
Yeah, but those three places are definitely cool. And there's a lot of stuff to do in each city. Depending on how adventurous you are, it might help to kind of get off the beaten path.
Of course.
Yeah, but I think that's just something to remember is that the English levels in Japan like vary greatly from place to place, and so unless you speak some Japanese, like, you might have some problems, trying to get around. But, it's definitely a lot easier now with Google Maps, like Google Translate, and being able to just get like quick words, like having those quick kind of conversations with people, Like maybe you don't know what something is called, and you just pop it into Google and be like, hey, I'm looking for this. I'm like, oh, it's this way, But even just speaking a little bit of Japanese, man, it'll get you by, like, further than if you didn't,
So are those the three spots you recommend, or I mean?
Well, yeah, I would recommend those for anybody who just wants to come to Japan for like a quick trip and like roll out.
Yeah.
Um, I was thinking like I haven't traveled as much as some people have. Like I haven't been to Hokkaido.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Okinawa. But I'm like saving up money and paying off some debts. and I'm actually really close to like Tokyo and Osaka. I'm sorry, Osaka and Kyoto where I live. Like I could take a bus to either place in a couple hours. See, I've also been to Kobe, been to Hiroshima, and then like Tokyo a bunch of times. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's mostly it. Also like Gifu, like Takayama, just a bunch of random places. Kanazawa is nice too. But I think maybe one of my favorite towns was Kanazawa. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, so Kanazawa, like I'm on the Pacific coast side of Japan, and Kanazawa is basically like straight north of me, like close to the Sea of Japan. And so, like they say in the wintertime, like the seafood over there is like the bomb. Like when you go to Kanazawa in the winter, man, like the sushi is just like ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a really, I don't know, the town has like a really big city feel, like metropolitan, but it's also like a small town. And the people are all like really chill. Like, was it the homeboy Nate? He came out here to visit me a couple of years back and we went out that way. And then we just went to like a random sushi bar. And then like in the sushi bar, we just started like chatting up these two girls next to us. And then like we started chatting up the guys working there. And like, we stayed for a while. We drank like a gang of beer and like a gang of sake. And they're like, here, just eat some of this fish. It's good, right? I'm like, it is. Thank you. They just started hooking you up with grub and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I got up to left and like they came out from around the corner, like shook my hand and like bowed and stuff. They're just like, thank you for speaking Japanese. I'm like, no problem. Yeah.
So that's your favorite spot?
I think so, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I really think so. Like, I don't know. The thing is, dude, like with Tokyo, it's so big.
Yeah.
Like you could spend a month there and not do everything.
Yeah.
But then it's also like with Tokyo, it's not like, I don't know, like you kind of think of like one big city, but it's kind of like a bunch of small cities that make up a huge one.
Is it kind of like Ho Chi Minh City to a certain degree? How like each district it kind of has its own vibe, its own thing to it, and then all just creates one massive city. Is that kind of the similar feel?
I think so, man. But I feel like with Ho Chi Minh City, like you take a lot of cabs and you take a lot of, scooters around and stuff.
Yeah.
And so in Tokyo, it's more like you take trains everywhere, or subways.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the small cities kind of like radiate out from the train stations. So like say you go to like Akihabara, which is like, where all the people like to go to get anime stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And like you get out of the station and it's just like bam, like in your face, just like lights and like big buildings and like tons of restaurants, tons of shops, like pachinko, video games, all that. And then you walk like 10 minutes down the street and it's just like silence. Like nobody, like everything is super concentrated in one area. So it's pretty nuts like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, how about Vietnam, dude? You've been around a lot over there?
Mostly the South. I did go up north to a couple spots. For my honeymoon, I went to this place called Mộc Châu. It was kind of close to the Laos border. It's kind of like this, it's like in the mountains, a lot of dairy. Very quiet. It was very peaceful up there. I loved it. And then we went to like Hanoi for a little bit and went to Ha Long Bay. Like you got to go to Ha Long Bay, right?
Yeah, right.
So I also went for down south. I went to like Dalat, Nha Trang, Mune, Vung Tau, Phu Quoc, Can Tho, obviously. I think a couple more. Yeah. I think I went to like most of the main locations down south.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have a very similar feel to each other. That's all I could say. Obviously, like Ho Chi Minh City is like a different beast on its own. Yeah. But like a beach city has that beach city feel. seafood, beach. So like Phu Quoc Nha Trang and like Mune also have like the same thing, but just the slight modification because Mune is very more Western. There's actually like waves there, so
Okay.
yeah, and then but all the other like Asian cities, I think they all feel very similar to each other.
Yeah. It's kind of like based off the same model almost, right?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
So I think let's see. For my favorite places, I think Kenta for like sentimental reasons. It's like just because like I stayed there for a while, met some amazing people, and then it's like very quiet, chill, but also like amazing food and like cool people there, And then so that would be just like my personal favorite. But if I would kind of like recommend someone to like who's in Vietnam and kind of just wants to get like a different feel, I think Mui Ne is actually like just a great spot.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of like I think Russians there.
Yeah.
So Russians have that vibe.
Yeah.
But I think just because like it's more Western, it's really like it feels like a bubble because like that place like a lot of like nothing really opens even at 10 a.m. yet, which is amazing for Vietnam. Like Vietnam, everything's like
crazy.
exactly like you're walking around like at 10 o'clock is like dude, there's nothing open yet. Like what the heck is going on here, right? But just like for me, it's like the beaches, the waves. You go bodyboarding. I heard like Mune is like probably one of the most difficult kite surfing locations in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, from what I heard from kite surfers out here. But like if you could kite surf here, dude, you just go anywhere you want after that.
That's crazy. So it's like the ultimate training spot out there, huh?
Yeah, that's what I hear. So
Wow.
yeah. So I mean, personal favorite is Kinta and Mune, but I've heard a lot of people also like Dalat. It's a very mountainous city, very quiet, no humidity, very chill, very quiet. You remember. How about you, bro? I mean, you've been to Vietnam quite a few. What's your take on Vietnam, man?
Vietnam is very chill, and like, thinking about how easy it is to get like in and out of places, it makes it like pretty nice to visit, and last time though I had like a little bit of problems with the SIM card from the airport. Like it stopped working like after a day.
Oh yeah.
But like the other time I went out, and I don't know if it was the same place. Like it was the same place in the airport, but maybe a different desk.
Yeah. Okay.
And like, yeah, I bought one the other time, and it worked like the whole trip just fine. But it was like I spent like $10 and it didn't work, and then I had to spend like $5 more, and they're like, you can use it for 2 months. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be here that long, but that's cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, what can I say? It's like rich people's problems.
Yeah.
$5, that's bullshit. Yeah, but yeah, like Ho Chi Minh is definitely cool.
Yeah.
Like you definitely got to visit that.
Of course.
And I also did like Hanoi too, but it's just like very different, like the kind of lifestyle between the two. Like, I don't know. I feel like in Hanoi, well, maybe it's just the places that I went to.
Yeah.
Because like I was walking around that night market in the old quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just like a bunch of clubs, and like they're all popping at like 9, 10 o'clock at night because I think they have to shut down at midnight.
That's right.
Yeah. And then everybody is like just on the street drinking like that 25, like 50-cent beer.
Yeah.
Just getting sloshed, But man, the food was pretty bomb though, man. There's this one spot that had like a banh mi, like a Vietnamese sandwich.
Yeah.
And you could get like roasted like pepper duck,
Oof.
It was nuts, man. A lot of good food at that night market. I also like Da Nang too.
Yeah, that's my next spot I want to go to.
Yeah, it's very, very easy to get in and out of, like I think from the from the airport like to the hotel I was staying at, like on the beach, like it took like 15 minutes I think to drive there.
Nice.
Yeah,
because I think like Hanoi, I think it was like a 40-minute drive from city center to the airport. It was like pretty far. It was pretty far. I remember that.
And it's not like too bad a drive, because once you get out the city, you're just like on the highway and the dude's just smashing out,
But it's still like 40 minutes though, right? So if there wasn't a freeway, I could only imagine how long it would actually take. Sorry, I cut you off there,
Yeah.
buddy.
No, that's okay, dude. Yeah, it would be nuts though, dude.
So
But
so
yeah,
what are
that was cool.
so what are your favorite places so far? So like let's see, I can remember your list. Is we've been to Phu Quoc, we've been on
Yeah.
Yachang. No, very
Yeah.
briefly. We were there for like overnight, and we didn't go out to the. We just went swimming. Dalat,
Yeah.
obviously
Yep.
Ho Chi Minh
Yep.
City, Kanta, and then you went up north with your girl for Da Nang, Hanoi, and Ha Long Bay, right?
Yes. Yeah. 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 I got around to all those places. I don't know, man. I feel like Phu Quoc was cool, but I feel like it's changed like since the first time we went. You know.
No, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
You know,
but the first time we
and-
went was 7 years
like
ago. So yeah,
Yeah. It's like 2011, right?
Yeah, 2011.
Yeah. So I mean, it was cool, but it's not like all that, you know.
Yeah,
I feel like I had a better time in Da Nang. Like it was definitely cool to visit, to just be like, yo, I'm on an island. How about that? You know what I mean? But it's like you go to Da Nang and like you just go swim in the beach and be like, it's like I'm on an island. How about that?
I've heard Da Nang's just a lot nicer. Like the police are nicer. There's no beggars, or there were no beggars, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really see any beggars.
Yeah,
Yeah, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
But also too, like in Da Nang, I noticed a lot of Korean and Japanese tourists. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think they like to go to Da Nang because there's some of the resorts out there,
Yeah.
and then it's like so easy to get from the airport like to wherever you got to be. You know.
I think Da Nang is probably like the most like Western city in Vietnam, because I think like from the very beginning they just gonna know like this is a tourist city that's gonna be cleaner and nicer. So I think they already had like the infrastructure to keep it that way. So that's probably why it kind of just blew up with like other foreigners.
Yeah, well, also back in the day, that was like home to the first U.S. base in Vietnam.
Oh, was it? Nice history
Yeah.
lesson for today, huh?
That's right. Yeah, so like they still have the remnants of it over there, dude. They had like an air base and like a big like Navy dock, you know. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of like that old school stuff, man. It sticks around, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think too they said like a couple of years ago that I don't know when it was exactly, but like a U.S. aircraft carrier like pulled into Da Nang, into the port over there, you know.
That sounds familiar.
It's kind of like it was like a big deal,
yeah,
you know.
that sounds familiar.
Yep, yep. But yeah, I think if I were to say my favorite places in Vietnam, I'd definitely say Ho Chi Minh. I'd definitely say like Da Nang. You know, I didn't stay that long in Dalat, but that seemed very cool.
Yeah.
And then I also liked Hanoi. You know,
You left off
and,
Can
like,
tell you
you know, I like Kinto, dude. I like Kinto, but that's like a suburb of Ho Chi Minh City. Once they have the train, you'll be able to commute. You know what I mean?
So okay, so
No.
so quick recap is I don't remember the name of the city you had mentioned in Japan.
Oh, Kanazawa.
Kanazawa. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Kanazawa.
Yeah, Kanazawa, and then like the big three, you know, like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka.
Okay.
And then like if you plan to come back, like maybe check out some other places. Or if you have like a really long time and you just want to spend a night in each place, you know, like there are a lot of different ways you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing too, is like from each of those places you go, there's like small day trips you can take, you know, like a couple hours away.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing with traveling in Japan is that like geographically it's not like a huge country, but just like each region has like its own kind of history and like food and like culture, you know what I mean?
Wait.
So is
Sorry.
yeah,
You also went to Hoi An. I'm sorry, right? Jumping back to
Yeah,
Vietnam. Also went to Hoi An. How was that?
that was pretty cool, man. You know, it's very touristy, but also nice, you know?
Just like probably like a 1 day, that's it kind of trip, right?
I think so, you know, but it looked like there were a lot of artistic types out there, you know, like people that were like photographers or like people that wanted to like paint like old buildings and stuff,
Yeah.
you know? So I don't know, I get the feeling there's like a creative community. For me, like I figure maybe like 1 or 2 nights would be the best, like unless you just really love that kind of like old school, like old town kind of feel, you know?
Yeah.
And then they have like all the tailor shops too, you know, so everybody wants to get like their custom suits for like $200, you know. And like Yeah, they custom make a lot of stuff, man. Like bags, belts, purses, shoes, suits, dress shirts, ties, all that. So, yeah, and there's like some pretty gourmet types of restaurants and stuff out there too. You know, I saw like a swanky looking taco place.
I think the food discussion will be a very fun topic to talk about as well. But
yeah, man,
I think that about time to wrap today's episode.
So we hope you had a good time. I know I did. Coming up next week, it'll be all about politics, and more politics.
So that's right. We're going to be talking about looking at American politics from the outside, looking in.
Yeah, it should be a pretty good show.
Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. Be sure to check out our blog at dudesinasia.blogspot.com. Hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/dudesinasia.
And if you want to follow me on Twitter, check me out at David Hayter. That's at DAVID, the letter H, the number 8, R.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.